Welcome to the Monk Manual community. The Monk Manual integrates the preparation strengths of a planner with the reflective strengths of a journal to help you experience more meaningful productivity and personal growth each day. At the core of the Monk Manual is a system for radical intentionality. Yet, the flexible framework supports thousands of members from all walks of life worldwide. That's why I'm so excited to have you begin this journey. Before you open up your Monk Manual, know this. There's not one right way to build your Monk Manual practice. There's only your way. I'll walk you through some of the prompts and the intentions behind them to help you get started, but please remember, the system is designed to help you flourish every day in your own unique circumstances and growth trajectories. If you want to adapt any area of the planner to better serve your rhythms and routines, please do. Oftentimes, what holds individuals back from starting is a fear of not doing it exactly correctly. The most important thing is that you start. Your practice with the Monk Manual will change over time as you change, and that's okay. I've been using this tool longer than anyone, and I still continue to adapt my practice as my circumstances change and my priorities change. So remember, the important thing is just that you begin. The Monk Manual 90-Day Planner is likely quite different from other planners you've experienced in the past. That's because the endpoint for the Monk Manual isn't keeping a to-do list, managing a calendar, or simply focusing on goal execution. None of these things are bad, but they don't get to the real heart of intentionality or personal fulfillment. The endpoint of the Monk Manual is helping you cultivate your own potential and ultimately experiencing a fuller life. All right, let's look inside the Monk Manual 90-Day Planner. Most of our members find it simplest to start with the daily pages and then build a rhythm using the Monk Manual each day. Once that becomes part of your routine, add in the weekly pages and eventually build up to the monthly pages. This doesn't have to be the way you begin, but starting with the daily pages helps many new members ease into the practice. You'll notice that the months, weeks, and days are all in separate locations within your Monk Manual. That's very intentional. At the Monk Manual, our goal is to help you fully leverage the strengths that are presented by each window of time that you're going to be engaging. We naturally view our life and priorities differently through the vantage points of our months, weeks, and days. So we want to have a separate space to help you most fully benefit from what each window of time has to offer. Plus, as a bonus, this setup also allows you to miss a day or two and come back without wasting a whole chunk of pages. Your 3 ribbons will help you keep track of your current month, week, and day so you can easily reference them at any given time. Let's take a look at the daily pages. On the left side of the planner, you have your Prepare section. Here's where you're going to see 3 priorities. Take time to discern your most important work for each day. Ask yourself, if I only get to 3 things today, what's really most important? Rank them in order of importance if you can. Often, we feel like we're running against a never-ending to-do list. But we're finite people with seemingly infinite demands. By setting your priorities at the beginning of each day, you'll have a greater sense of clarity and purpose to guide your action. And you'll have a definition of done so you can rest your head at night knowing you focused on the most important things. Next is the to-do list. If there are other things you want to get to, but are less important, you can list them out here. It can help to get tasks out of your mind and onto paper, but these tasks can bump to the next day with really little consequence. The important thing is not to let the less important things get in the way of your top 3 priorities for the day. If you start to see a consistent pattern of overbooking and overcommitting, that alone is progress. You'll find that one of the great advantages of the Monk Manual system is that it's designed to help you figure out what's working and what's not. So, if you find yourself consistently taking on too much, that's the perfect time to dig a little deeper and ask where it may be that you need to adjust your expectations, as well as where you may have to make some hard decisions about what you really want to say yes to and what you may need to say no or not now to. To the right of the to-do list is a scheduler. You can use this section to time block your day or simply jot down your appointments. Many members keep a digital calendar in conjunction with their Monk Manual. If you don't want to rely on your Monk Manual for your hour-to-hour schedule, you can use this section for something else, like new ideas, a grocery list, a workout routine, or even a to-do list, chronicling how you spent your time. Remember, the Monk Manual is designed to best serve you. Next, we have I'm grateful for. Spend a few minutes thinking about what it is you're grateful for. Psychology research shows that people who practice gratitude consistently experience a host of benefits, including stronger immune systems, stress resilience, higher levels of personal happiness, and increased generosity. If you struggle in the area of gratitude, you're not alone. Over time, through repeated practice, you'll go from a gratitude beginner to a gratitude expert. I'm looking forward to. It's important to write down what's ahead and what brings you hope or an event you're anticipating with joy. Doing so sets a positive tone for the day and reminds you that every single day brings with it a unique potential. Next, we have ways to give. This prompt is really important. Most planners are designed with a focus solely on us and on our goals. However, we know that the human person thrives and finds meaning when focused outwards. You can think of specific actions you can take, like doing something helpful or kind for a spouse or friend. Or you can think of something more qualitative, like practicing patience with your kids or your coworkers. There isn't a right or wrong way, but try to be as specific as possible so you can look back at the end of the day and consider if you were able to do what you set out to do. This is about wrapping your day in a sense that your life is a gift, and that gift only becomes more meaningful to you when it's shared with others. The reflection section may be the most valuable part of the Monk Manual, but for many new users, it's also the most foreign. In our culture, unless we've been extremely lucky, most of us have never been taught the necessity of reflection. It's here that you're going to gain insights and clarity into how you're spending your time, how you're experiencing your life, and where your real opportunities for growth are. But a word of warning, this is the section that you're going to be most tempted to skip. At the end of a long day, the last thing you're going to want to do sometimes is look back on your day. But remember, it's in reflection where you're going to really find the insights needed to focus on the most important things, simplify your life, and identify the greatest opportunities for growth and fulfillment. The best way to guard against the temptation to skip daily reflection is to carve out a specific time and place that you'll be doing your reflection journaling, especially when you're just developing the habit. The first reflection prompt is highlights. Consider highlights as external events that went well, surprised you, or gave you a sense of accomplishment, gratitude, joy, or peace. Next, we have I was at my best when. Unlike highlights, which focus on the good things we experienced, the I was at my best when prompt is an opportunity to explore what activities you participated in or decisions you made that reflect where you sense you were really at your best. This serves a twofold purpose. For one, it helps to remind us that there is in fact a great amount of good in us. Second, over time we can come to recognize the patterns of when we are at our best and foster more of these moments in our lives. After this, we have I felt unrest when. This prompt allows us to take a moment to consider what's really going on inside. Where do you feel unrest? What do you think the cause of this is? This is an incredibly powerful prompt. As you recognize the unrest within you, you can then recalibrate to do more of what creates peace and less of what creates unrest. Throughout all of this reflection is a quiet yet powerful work taking place within us. Each time we ask and contemplate questions, our brain develops new neural connections, leading to new awareness, insights, and creativity. Habits and themes are listed on each daily, weekly, and monthly page. Habits are small actions done consistently. While the effects of habits are not always immediate, healthy habits compound into massive change over time. Whether you're looking for shifts in your relationships, work, energy levels, or even spiritual life, focusing on healthy habits can help you move in the direction you desire in a really measurable way. Keeping the same habit for 30 days or longer will help ingrain that habit into your life. Sometimes, if I feel I've made progress but the habit hasn't quite set in yet, I'll keep the same habit going for multiple months at a time until it really becomes a part of my daily life. While habits usually focus on the quantitative goals in our life, themes can help us grow in deeply qualitative ways. A theme is an idea, concept, or word that if you focus on it for an entire week or month, will transform your life for the better. Themes answer questions like, what's missing in my experience of life? How can I grow? How can I give? All right, so that's the daily page. The important thing to remember is progress over perfection is our goal. This is a practice, and it's going to build over time. Don't aim for a perfect score or overcomplicate things. Just keep coming back and pay attention. The Monk Manual is a productivity tool, but it's so much more than that. The greatest wins will come from repeated use as you grow in personal awareness, clarity, and courage. Soon enough, you'll find these pages to be an essential part of your daily rhythm. The process is similar for the weekly pages. Start with your weekly priorities. Below each priority, you can circle the days of the week that you want to spend focusing in on this priority. This can help give a sense of time, and if the priorities you've chosen are achievable in the week ahead. As you build your practice, you'll begin to bring alignment between your priorities for the week and the time you actually spend on these priorities each day. These priorities will serve as a guide to help you set each of your daily priorities. By continually zooming out and intentionally clarifying what's most important, you'll ensure that you're making progress and focusing on the things that you value most each week and each day. You'll notice a habit tracker is also included on the weekly pages so that you can track your personal growth. When you get to the end of the week, take some time to reflect. You'll begin to see patterns and new opportunities for growth that you might not have noticed in your daily reflection. Then, when you're ready, build in your monthly pages. Here you're going to zoom out on a larger chunk of time, the month ahead. In the Prepare section, you can clarify the goals that are most important to you and begin to build each week and each day around your most meaningful work and relationships. And then, as you reflect each month, you'll continue to learn and grow. One note about the calendar. This is not meant to hold each event in a given day. Rather, it's there to give you a high-level view of key events, trips, birthdays, or blocks of time you want to be aware of as you go about planning your priorities for each month. It simply gives you a sense of your time and the commitments you've already made, or it can show you where you might have open time so you can consider how you want to spend that time intentionally. The priority section functions similarly here to how it functions on the weekly pages. It's meant to help you stay focused on your most important work amongst all the competing demands that arise each month. Your monthly priorities will set a course for not only your month, but also your weekly and daily priorities, which will be smaller steps needed to bring these monthly priorities into fruition. By setting your monthly priorities, you'll be able to ensure that all your other priorities are aligned with your higher intention. I want to direct you now to the monthly check-in. This prompt is for you to gain a personal sense of how things are going and where you might want to direct your energy in the coming month. This isn't really meant to be a grading scale as much as a gauge. Are things going well or really well? Thumbs up. Or are things less than ideal in a particular area? Thumbs down. The power of this section is really in the patterns that you begin to see emerge over time. It's about taking a few moments to consider the harmonies of your life and where you might want to tune up an area. You can come back to this at the end of each month and see how things have changed. You'll find that there's certain areas where you tend to thrive more than others. Pay attention to these patterns and consider how you might invest in the areas where you tend to normally devote a little less of your energy. The Monk Manual framework is simple, but it may take a little bit of time to build your practice. With regular practice, it can support significant change and growth in your life. While we often imagine ourselves as efficient machines, our growth really operates a lot more like plants. When you keep showing up and nurturing good habits, you'll find quiet growth that compounds into meaningful change in every area of your life. The planner is undated to increase flexibility. You can start as soon as you receive it, and then if you miss a day or even a week, don't sweat it. Just pick up your practice again the next day. Before you begin, I want you to do two things right now. First, I want you to take a moment and write down why you want to begin this practice. You can use the dot grid pages at the back of your Monk Manual if you'd like. What do you hope to gain by using your Monk Manual each day? When we know the why behind what we do, we're much more likely to stick with our intentions and stay committed. Second, I want you to schedule some time each day to spend with your Monk Manual. Hands down, my best days begin when I take time to prepare for them the night before. This means I reflect on my current day and prepare for the next day in the same sitting. For others, they like to begin each day with the prepare section in the Monk Manual and end each day with the reflection. Decide how you want to begin your practice and schedule it in your week now. You may change it up as you're finding your own rhythm, but you'll be more likely to keep up the practice if you make room for it now. If you get stuck, know that we're here for you. We have in-house coaches who are ready to help you build your practice. I want to thank you for saying yes to the Monk Manual and for investing in a fuller life. This simple tool leverages best practices in productivity, positive psychology, and spiritual growth. And with regular practice, I'm confident you'll find yourself living each day with more peace, presence, and meaningful productivity.